I would argue that it's struggle that made me a billionaire, because it's struggle that taught me the lessons. And then I learned to articulate the lessons in a way people can understand.
So that's the vehicle.
Yeah, struggle's always been the vehicle for man.
Right.
If you
Or is the struggle the engine?
Yes. You know what's a perfect example? If you watch any, I've noticed this, it's an observation of mine. If you watch any superhero movie, bad things happen to him. Then he becomes a superhero. Every time. Batman's parents died, he becomes a superhero. So I think that's pretty obvious in the masculine frame. Bad things have to happen to you for you to become a superhero.
But then bad things have to happen, but that breaks most people, and you have to figure out how to turn that into good.
Correct, absolutely. And that's also why you have to be hard on yourself, but that's also why you need to see bad things as a blessing, because they're the building blocks to make you the man you want to be. You will, I will, because I'm me. All you talk about is watching nobody. You made a bit of money, great, fine. Why is it your personality? In life. Crypto Twitter is full of losers, such losers. I would argue we could line up 10,000 of them here on the street, and I would face them all in Mortal Kombat one by one. And I guarantee, I might be a little bit out of breath, when the 10,000th man falls in a lifeless pile on the floor, you will understand why I prod Crypto Twitter.
Probably with the cigar in your mouth, I would assume.
Power up first. Fuck them nerds, and fuck the crypto influencers. They're the biggest nerds of all. Biggest nerds. I wish I knew their names. This one guy was always screaming. I did a video about NFTs as well. That was hilarious. There are people who spent $5 million on a JPEG. On a JPEG. I think the easiest way to make money in the world today is to sell information. I think selling information, if you were to tell me what's the quickest way to get rich, I think providing information, or because we live in an attention economy, finding a way to solicit attention and then selling information is probably one of the easiest ways to make money in the world today. So I like to challenge myself. Name a normie job. You're a barista. They do a normal thing and they don't try to be the best at it. We have a man who became a billionaire from salt.
Yeah.
He did it the best. That's the first thing you need to do. Then you need to solicit attention. How do you then turn that attention into money after you began to show your fancy coffees? Would I be a man in my heart if I allowed a woman's feelings to try to trump my biological incentives and my ability to save humanity into the future and my dynasty and my bloodline? You have to analyze. I'll give you an example. When I was playing chess as a kid, I would play chess for 2 hours a day, training under my father. 1 hour would be play, 1 hour would be going back through the games and analyzing the games. I always enjoyed playing, but I hated analyzing. But it was the analysis that made me better. And I can prove that now, because when I was 8 or 9, I think my rating was around 1500. Now, I've been playing Blitz, play 3-minute chess online, for 20 years, ever since I was a child, and my rating is 1700. I've gotten no better in 20 years, because I don't watch my games back, I don't analyze them, I don't look where I made mistakes, I just play. That's the problem. So when people speak, they just speak. They don't watch themselves back. I'm gonna watch this podcast 10 times. I'm gonna identify every single time I stuttered or made a mistake or didn't use the word I should have used. And then people are gonna ask me, how do I speak the way I speak? Why do my podcasts get the most views? Because I'm a professional. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it properly. That's why. Most people will do a podcast and they'll just sit there and they'll just talk shit and then they'll finish it and they'll go on with their brokey day and be a brokey. But it's very interesting what you said about speech, because that also ties back to my current predicament. This is the first time in my adult life I can't use my superpower. Because my superpower is talking. If you were to put me in front of someone and give me an hour to convince them that I could rip out their throat with my little finger, I guarantee by the end they'd be afraid. We both know I probably could. By the end, part of them would think. It's confident. I can't talk in court because I don't speak. It's very weird for me. I became acutely aware of my superpower because I'm going through this process and I'm like, why am I so frustrated with this? And one day it dawned on me, I don't get to talk. When I get to talk, this is how much of a superpower speaking is. When I get to talk, it's fine. I could have talked the ocean out of freezing me to death on the Titanic. Does money make me happy? Happy. Okay, do my hands make me happy? Well, no. I don't wake up and go, I'm happy I have hands. No. But if I didn't have hands, I'd probably be a lot less happy. It's a requirement for happiness that I just expect to be there. What's interesting is, we talk about how I expect to just have fun. That's how we are. We learn through pain and suffering, which is why God gives it to us, because God is here to teach us. God is like a father, and a father teaches you, I believe, through pain. If a dad wants to teach you how to ride a bike, he puts you on the bike, lets you fall off and get hurt, puts you back on the bike. Over and over and over until you can ride the bike. God does the same thing.
You don't get the lessons you want, you get the lessons you
need. Absolutely agree. So, I believe that bad things happening to you are a fantastic thing. I believe you need to be strong enough to deal with them and then articulate them. I do find it amazing that a lot of people can't speak well. I find that truly amazing. If you don't have the ability to project your thoughts to other people, I don't know how you're going to be successful in life. The reason I refuse to learn another language is because I haven't learned English yet. There's words I don't know, and English is the most profitable language for me to know. So I'm going to learn English. If I want to spend time learning a language, I'll read the English dictionary. I'm not going to learn another language and start stuttering like a dummy. But there are people who've been speaking English their entire life and they can't even speak it. It's actually a pet peeve of mine. You know when you said earlier about being rich allows you to say no? I'm going to be very honest. I am the worst person to pitch to. I get people trying to pitch me for business and I'm the worst. Because if you're a vegan, no. You turn up in a Prius or a Tesla, no. I'm nothing against Tesla, don't ban me. But if somebody cannot project their ideas to me succinctly, I instantly just dislike them. Because maybe I have ADHD, maybe I'm too busy, I don't know what it is, but I don't have time for your ums and ahs. I don't have time for it. So if I'm sitting in a meeting and somebody goes, we're gonna start with, and this is how people speak. Every man thinks he's tough till it's going on. Two, when you have the BBC attacking you, attacking your mother, attacking your family, attacking the mothers of your children, when your kids are getting kicked out of school, when reporters are following your old mother around, when they've closed all your bank accounts down, when they're trying their very best to call all your ex-girlfriends and build up cases that don't exist, when they're printing lies about you, when you know you can go to jail at any moment for nothing. That's a lot of mental stress. Most people, I'd argue, couldn't deal with that mental stress. Next, financially. Most people have a job, and your job is gone, and you're broke. If you have your own business, you can't get customers or clients. Most people. I'm in a very fortunate financial situation where my finances are hard to touch and very difficult to damage. In fact, they've been trying for a very long time to take down my schools, the war room. That's not even my main money. My main money is other things they don't even know about. I can't be damaged. I'm actually in the NBA. I'm an NBA player. Never broke again. So because of that, I'm also fortunate. If that won't motivate you, I don't know what will. Because the worst thing about the bus isn't the bus. It's the time you wait for the bus. Time is money. You're gonna stand there for 45 minutes in the freezing cold and waste your time to save a couple dollars on it. And you don't feel panic to get rich. And you're just fine with that. And you're gonna come home, took the bus today. Born to lose. If that won't motivate you, especially as my 5.2 liter V10 Lamborghini is humming right next to you standing there. You're standing with your coat on, your hood up. Lamborghini's right there. Bro. Born to lose. Losers do a little bit of work and rest. Winners work as hard as possible and worry they're not working hard enough. And it's almost like you can't save these people. I have something I sent in my email recently. I said, you could give the average man a brand new Ferrari and a road map and a coffee and a full tank of gas and tell him the destination, success. And halfway along the drive, he'll quit because it's too far. You're a full-grown man and you can't finish a sentence without saying or ah in the only language you know. You've been speaking it for 40 years. It bothers me. It's a pet peeve of mine. It irks me. Occasionally, we make mistakes, fine, whatever. But if you actually listened to most people speak, that's how most people communicate with the world. You wonder why you can't convince a girl to sleep with you? Your So nice. Dummy! You're a dummy! No wonder you can't make any money! You're an idiot! This is people. They're on their way through life. It bothers me. When people come to pitch me, if they say or ah too much in the first sentence, it's over. Sorry, sir. When you learn to talk English, when you learn to speak, I might give you another chance. Goodbye. So you're right. The ability to project the thoughts inside of your mind in a way that other people can digest and is also entertaining is massively a superpower. How do you develop that superpower? It's not through practice. People think it's practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Because
you can practice a really bad habit and get really good at a really shit thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The person who ums and ahs at 48 has been practicing his whole life. He's practiced just fine.
He's great at that.
He's great. Feedback is what's important. Anybody with a brain is capable of having feedback. And perhaps you will know that I've never met anyone who genuinely tried their hardest for anything. I've never seen somebody dedicate themselves properly. I've never seen somebody try their best and not get it. I've seen people pretend to try their best. I've seen people say they want it. I've seen people make excuses for why they'll never have it and not get it. But I've never seen anybody who just wakes up, shuts up, works, and not get it. Ever. You can have anything you want, and that's how you disrupt the matrix. Most people are lazy as well. In the middle of a street in Moscow, by myself. And it's a good reminder that violence is always so close. It's only a few steps away at all times. And
the reminder that if you have enough money, you can buy yourself out of death.
well, yeah,
Because if you hadn't had 1,000, 5,000 or been rich,
I would have been in a lot of trouble.
you could have been dead.
I think so. And it was good also to see that I felt nerves, but they were the same nerves I felt before I fought. I didn't feel fear, which was a good reminder as well to know that I'm still not afraid. I get nerves because the nerves sharpen me. I don't feel fear, which was a good thing. But I still remember his eyes. I don't think I've ever been looked at like that in the West. And that's another thing that we can tie back into our whole conversation we just had about how certain societies still operate in a certain way and our Western societies are so failed. Maybe I should have told him about LGBT and feminism and he might have let me go. Maybe I should have said, this is bad, this is misogynist. Maybe I should just talk some garbage and he would let me off. Or is the brutal reality of the world men who are prepared to die for an idea. And his idea was I owe him $6,000. And he was ready to kick shit out of it. And that's the bottom line of all ideas. Which we can also tie back into what's very interesting. Everything I've said across all these hours all tie into each other, and you end up in one result. You end up in one place, which is brutal competence, brutal masculine competence. There's nowhere else to be. And through that brutal masculine competence, you can also protect yourself from all the things we were talking about earlier from the Matrix. Brutal masculine competence will put you in a position of respect where your girlfriend you haven't seen in 7 years, your ex, is called, and she goes, I respect you too much to rap. Maybe you love someone else now. Only brutal masculine competence can save you. Law won't save you, law's against you. Nothing will save you besides your own brutal competence.